So in this video, let's break it down to few parts. A simple explanation on what is quick shifter, how is it working, and what is the difference from clutchless shifting, what is auto blipper, and finally, how am I finding this very useful for my touring. What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm gonna talk about quick shifters. So finally I have installed the quick shifter on my 2019 edition CBR 650R. So this is not going to be a video on how I'm installing it. I'm gonna explain few things like how this quick shifter is actually useful for touring. So basically you might be knowing that the quick shifter is mostly used for racing. Many people tell that it's not a requirement for a city rider or a tourer. So basically I agree that it's not necessary for city riding, but I have been using this quick shifter for past 1000 kilometers only on highways, and I find it really useful. So in this video, let's break it down to few parts. A simple explanation on what is quick shifter, how is it working, and what is the difference from clutchless shifting, what is auto blipper, and finally, how am I finding this very useful for my touring. So let's get into the video. So before that, I'll just show you my quick shifter here. So this is the add-on which just came. This is the same unit which I've been used on the 2019 CBR 650R. So then itself I was convinced. By the way, I bought this for around 15,000. That's the price of the quick shifter. So it's a stock quick shifter for the CBR 650R. I didn't have to do any mod on this motorcycle. It was just a plug and play. So before I explain what quick shifter is, I'll show you what this is. That's it. So quick shifter is basically an equipment. It's an electronic equipment which will help you to shift gears without using the clutch and letting go of the throttle. So you might have seen I didn't pull the clutch, I didn't cut off the throttle as well. So this device, the quick shifter, actually what it does is it has a sensor. So that sensor will get an input from my lever. So whenever I'm going to shift, the sensor will send a signal to the ECU saying that hey, you have to cut off the fuel and stop the sparks so that this guy will shift the gear. That's how it works. Simple. So that's a quick shifter. Now let's see how this is different from clutchless shifting. Many of the people are confused what is the difference. So basically it's nothing. In a clutchless upshift, you don't use the clutch. You immediately bring the throttle down and shift up. That's all. That's it. It is so seamless. It is very seamless. It's an OEM. I didn't do anything apart from just plugging this to this motorcycle. That's all. So yes, I was talking about the clutchless upshift. So in a clutchless upshift, what you do is like you don't pull the clutch, but instead you let go of the throttle, shift it quickly and bring it back. So you might take a little more time to practice this thing, just like how you might have learned the rev matching. But basically the principle is same. When you have the quick shifter, the electronic device will help you to cut the throttle. So cutting the throttle means no sparks and no fuel to the engine. That's all. That's how a quick shifter works. Now I'll explain to you what an auto blipper is. So auto blipper is the opposite thing of quick shifter. So quick shifter is for upshifting, auto blipper is for downshifting. So when you do downshifting, you have to blip the throttle. So to do this blip, what you have to exactly do is like the ECU has to work on. So it cannot be done on a motorcycle with normal wired throttle. Only motorcycle with this ride-by-wire technology will be able to do that. Unfortunately, this motorcycle doesn't come with a ride-by-wire technology. So whenever you want to do this downshift and you have an auto blipper, how does it work is like when you're about to push your gear lever down, it sends a signal to the ECU, and the ECU will take a call that you have to blip it. Blip that thing. So you have to blip it and the computer does it for you. That's all. This is quick shifter and auto blipper. And let me tell you how this is going to help when you are going for touring. So basically this motorcycle has the quick shifter coupler in this by default. Honda didn't give the quick shifter on this motorcycle, that's all. So I've got this thing through Honda itself and I've installed it. So basically let me explain you how this is going to help you when you go for touring. So the main thing you need while you're touring is that you need more energy. You don't want to waste your energy on unnecessary things. And when you have pretty much crowded highway, if your motorcycle doesn't have too much of torque and all, the problem is like you might end up shifting a lot, and especially if you have a heavier clutch, you have to pull in a lot of energy. So just imagine when you do an upshift, okay? So let me put on to the fourth gear, and imagine I have to upshift. I let go of the throttle, pull the clutch, and do this. So you might have seen when I let go of the throttle and pull the clutch, there is a transition to the body. So just imagine when I'm doing this, when I am about to do an upshift, so the motorcycle is going forward, and to counterbalance it, I'm spending some energy, some force to counterbalance it, and I'm pulling the handlebar. So that's one force, and let's call that energy as E1. And when I let go of the throttle, actually the motorcycle dips, and when it dips, actually the motorcycle is decelerating, and body needs to again counterbalance it. That's how it works. So you spend a lot of energy again to push the motorcycle. Previously you were pulling it, now you're pushing it. So let us take that energy as E2. And once you're shifting and when you're throttling it again, you're using the third energy, which is you're again pulling the handlebar. That means you're using 3 energy, the E1, E2 and E3. All the combinations is what you use when you do a shifting, especially on highways. I'm not talking about the high revving shift and all, but generally that's how it is. And if you think these things are minor, trust me, no. I have ridden motorcycles extensively on highways for hours and hours, and I felt having no shifter itself is good. But of course you have to go with the scooter, but the scooters can't take so much of speed. So if you have a motorcycle with a DCT and all, it's absolutely great. You can munch miles. But the point is, like, if you are having quick shifter, you really don't have to use the E2 and the E3. The reason is because when let me put on to the 4th gear. Yeah, it's in 4th. So when I'm doing these shift, okay, what happens is that the shifting time is so minute that my body really didn't get time to adjust itself, first thing. And second thing, I'm not using clutch, not like letting go of the throttle. So again, I save a lot of energy. That means I have only E1, which I'm continuously holding on to the handlebar. That's all. So I know that I've put in a lot of physics onto this, but I don't know how better to explain this thing. So if you have a motorcycle which has an option to add a quick shifter, then definitely my take is go for it. If you are a tourer, you'll really enjoy it. You save a lot of time, you save a lot of energy as well. So if you have a question that how will I add a quick shifter to a motorcycle which doesn't have a coupler, or if your manufacturer is not providing anything for you, so there are a lot of aftermarket quick shifters. You can buy that and fit it on your motorcycle. The only one thing is you have to get the motorcycle to a very decent mechanic, otherwise you won't be able to fine tune it, because these sensors can be actually programmed basically. This quick shifter comes with a stock cutoff of 4K RPM. That means I'm supposed to use this above 4K, but I'm able to use it below 4K as well, but I'm not trying that too much inside city. So that's why I told you have to go to a very good mechanic who know how to install quick shifters and how to program it. And if you want to install an auto blipper, there are like combo packages which is coming in, but the thing is you should have ride-by-wire throttle first, and you might have to go with some ECU mod as well. So that's how it is done. So I hope this small video is helpful for you, and always tour safely, have a lot of fun, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.